computer, please. And we're just going to start with some nice big breaths. Reach up, keep the shoulders nice and broad, lots of space between them, and then exhale out. Really focus on your breath here. So take a big deep breath in, and then just let the arms fall and blow that air out. Keep that going. We're going to do this 3 more times. Take as much air in each time as you can. And then on this last one, we're going to hold the arms up. Shoulders are down and broad. Now you're going to hinge forward, sweep those elbows back behind you and lift them up nice and high. And then come all the way back up, trying to touch the ceiling. Take your gaze, look up. Now try to be mindful to keep the weight centered between the pad and heel of your feet so you don't find the hips drifting forward when the arms go up. And let's do this a few more times. Get the elbows nice and high when you forward fold and pull the tummy in. Most important. Hips pull back as you hinge through those hips. Elbows are high, sweep back up. And arms back by your side. So let's think about stacking the ear, shoulder, hip, knee, and ankle. And then you're just going to take your gaze off the left shoulder. Come back center, pulling your chin in. Your neck is nice and long. Take it to the other side. Come back neutral. Let's drop the chin, feeling a nice stretch all the way down between the shoulder blades. Let's take the gaze, look up, and come back to a neutral neck. Inhale deep. Nice slow swan dive all the way down with nice long arms. Bend your knees. Feel a nice unweighting of the upper body here. So think about centering between the pad and heel. Sort of find that center. Maybe you just drift a little forward and a little back. Feel the difference. How much more stable you feel when you find that perfect spot. Okay, let's bend the knees. You're going to walk yourself out to a high plank. Just keep micro little bends in the elbows. Take your gaze off the end of the mat so the neck is nice and long. And then you're going to walk it back with your knees bent. Now we're going to do a nice slow reverse swan dive, sweeping the arms all the way up to the ceiling and back to neutral alignment. Inhale deep. Exhale, slow forward fold, pushing the hips back. Now this time I'm going to ask you to inhale, look up, flat back. Exhale all the way back down. Bend your knees, walk it back out to your high plank. Little baby steps with the hands. Pull through to your first down dog of the day. So here it's important to make sure you see your peripheral vision. You see the arms through your peripheral vision. You haven't gone too far through them so that your neck is nice and neutral. We're going to elevate nice and high onto the toes.
Well, they can see you.
Pull the heels back down. Soften your knees. Walk it
stop
back
the video.
up. And all the way back to standing.
You have a training session with Kat in a couple of hours.
Deep breath. I think Sean is to the rescue. Someone is not on mute. Sweep all the way forward. Nice and slowly. Inhale, look up, flat back. Exhale, release back down. Bend your knees, walk yourself out to a plank. Hold it here. Hello, Nancy. Welcome. Hips up and back, you're in your down dog. This time we're going to lift the left leg. Keep tiny little bends in the elbows. High on the toes on the right foot. And now we're going to switch. Right leg lifts. And right leg down, back to the left, lift it up. And this time we're going to open the hip, up towards the ceiling, and the leg's going to get a little higher this time. Great job. Lower that leg. Let's do the same on the right. Lift it up, open the hip, reach it as far up as you can, and relax it back to the floor. Pull forward to your high plank, open up your knees, and let's take a nice child's pose. So you're going to flatten out your feet, sit all the way back, and relax your forehead to the floor. Nice big breaths getting into our lower back here with a nice release. Just let the forearms relax on the floor and your forehead. And just breathe 3 more times. Okay, let's come up onto all fours. You're going to bring your knees together now so they're hip width apart. Little bends in those elbows. Tuck your toes under so you feel stable here. And you're going to round your back, drop your head. Let's do a few cat-cows. Chest is going to come forward, look up. We're going to round the back, really try to open up between those shoulder blades. Chest comes forward, look up. Now let's be mindful to suck in our belly here, right? It's not taking a vacation. One more time, round your back, drop your head. Now just come back to a neutral spine here. Keep the belly nice and engaged. And we're just going to elevate the knees 1 inch off the floor. Let's not lock out your elbows. Lily's having fun. Hold it and breathe. And now we're going to put the knees back down on the floor. One more time, lift up. Suck in the belly and relax the knees. Let's keep our necks neutral. Be mindful not to drop the face. Elevate the knees. Now, if you feel any compression in your wrists, you can always pull the shoulders back a little so they're not stacked over the wrists. And let's put the knees back down. Come up onto your knees. We're going to step our left foot forward. We're going to reach this right arm all the way up to the ceiling, nice and straight. So you're really reaching, getting a nice stretch through the hip flexor. Should feel fabulous. Take your gaze, look up at the ceiling. Now here to take this into a little bit of a side body stretch, I'm going to have you just go up and over a little bit here. So you're really focusing on lifting more so than you are on, you're not, pulling all the way over. Nice. Relax that arm and let's switch. So the hips are going to come forward a little bit, but really what's going to give you that nice stretch is that little pelvic tilt up. Arm is long and strong. Really try to keep a lot of space here between these shoulders. Nice. Let's take that arm down. Step back. We're going to meet in a high plank. Should we keep it on that view? Okay. Lift the knees up off the floor. Meet me back in your downward facing dog. Left leg lifts. Hip opens up towards the ceiling. Now you're going to bend at the knee. And you're going to lift your knee an inch or 2 higher. Please try to elevate nice and high on the right foot. Fabulous. Let's do the same on the right leg. Open hip, bend at the knee, lift. Try to keep your shoulders square so you're not shifting them. Really getting into the glute muscle here. And relax that foot. Drift those shoulders back forward. We're going to soften our knees to the floor. We're going to do a halfway hover, nice and slow, and then right to up dog. Nice. Again, I've got little bends in my elbows. I'm going to lift my hips up and back first, as far back as they'll go, then elevate the knees. Little stretch here for your lats. And now go back to your down dog. Walk your feet to the middle of your mat. And your hands back to your feet. Relax here in your forward fold. This time we're going to cross the arms. Keep your shoulders retracted and give me a little turn to the left. Your head stays down. You're just looking through your knees. And come back center slowly. And let's rotate a little to the right. And come back slowly. Relax the hands back down, palms down, step, jump, or float your feet back. We're going to do a little hover halfway, right back to your up dog. Pull the hips up and back to your down dog. Nice, easy breathing in and out through the nose. Three more big breaths here. And then we're going to take our left foot and bring it up to frame between both of our hands. So step that foot forward. You're going to sweep your arms all the way up towards the ceiling. Another big hip opener here. Shoulders are nice and broad. Take your gaze, look up, and just breathe. Try to get a little higher on your back foot if you can. Now we're going to bring both hands forward. You're going to step back to your high plank. Another halfway hover, right to up dog. Let's keep our toes tucked under because we're...
No, but she at her home.
Good morning,
She's in her
Cass.
porch, but...
Cass, I think you need to mute your computer.
Just gonna do it from her home.
Hips up and back. Drive your heels towards the earth.
I wonder what that's gonna look.
Float forward. Bring your left foot up between both hands and sweep your arms up towards the ceiling. Nice. Turn to face the side. Your back foot is on an angle. Your arms are straight. Left arm floats up to the ceiling. Right arm is on your back leg. Now we're going to spiral those arms forward, up on the toes on your back foot. You're right back to your high plank. And meet me in your down dog. Try to really press those heels now towards the earth as best you can. And we're going to bring our right foot forward, sweep your arms up. I don't think pass your computer's on mute. Turn to open to the side. Your back foot is nice and flat. Palm opens, reach it all the way up to the ceiling. Keep that nice bend you have in your front knee. Now we're going to spiral the arms forward. You're back on your toes on the back foot. Step back to your plank. Little halfway hover to up dog. Nice job. Hips up and back. You're in your down dog. Just relax here and breathe. Now let's pedal our feet. So one at a time, heel drives down. Really getting a nice stretch through the calves. And the opposite foot that's not pressing down, really try to get into the pad of that foot. Nice job. Okay, right foot comes forward this time. You're going to keep low to the floor. You're in what we call a runner's lunge. Hips are fairly low. You're just going to relax here. Put the left knee down on the floor. Let's keep the left hand down, and we're just going to sweep our right arm up to the side. Lily, stop it. No. Okay, take that hand down, step that foot back, and let's switch. Left foot comes forward. Hang out here in your runner's lunge. And now we're going to put the right knee down. Right hand down, sweep your left arm out to the side. Try to remember to keep a little micro bend in that right elbow. Take your gaze, maybe you look up at your hand if it's comfortable. If not, you can look wherever you feel good. And let's bring that hand down. Take that right knee off the floor, step it back to your plank, and right to your down dog. Lift and lowering onto the toes one last time. Getting a nice little foot massage here. It's also great to get mobility through our ankles so we can squat better. A few more times. And let's bring our left foot up between both hands. Sweep your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Nice. Shoulders are nice and broad. Now we're going to bring our hands to heart. We're going to step our back foot in a little bit so we can get both heels down on the floor. Keeping the hips nice and square, I'm just going to ask you to hinge forward. So try to not lock out your knees, but both legs are straight. Your spine is long. We're looking to release through the back of this left leg. If it's comfortable for you, you can walk your hands down your leg. Maybe they get all the way to the floor. Maybe they don't. Just kind of want to hang out where it feels good for the back of that leg. So you always want to make sure you've got good distance or width between your front and back foot so you feel stable. So you can always move your back foot a little to the right if you don't. Now using the core, you're just going to float your arms out to the side and you're going to hinge all the way back up and float the arms all the way up to the ceiling, reaching long and strong and back to neutral alignment. Step that back foot in. We're just going to switch sides. So again, micro bends in the knees. You're going to hinge forward, keeping your spine nice and long. Maybe you walk your hands down your leg. Just go where it feels good. You probably feel a nice little pull in the back of that right leg. Kind of enjoy that. Breathe through it. Shoulders are retracted. Just relax here maybe for 5 more big breaths. Once again, engaging the core, using all those core muscles, release the hands off the earth, out to the side, and sweep them all the way back up. Hands back to heart. Step your back foot in. Nice job. Big, deep breath. Big, slow swan dive down. Palms to the earth. Jump or step your feet back. Hover halfway to up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. 3 deep breaths. Left leg lifts. Float that left foot all the way up between your hands. Sweep your arms up to the ceiling. Turn and face the side. Strong and straight arms. This arm comes wrist, shoulder line up. This one goes up and over. Keep that bend in your front knee. Now take that hand down. Maybe you step your back foot a little further back. Just go where it feels good. Hand down maybe by the instep of your front foot, maybe not. You can also have your left arm resting on your front thigh. That feels better. Really try to activate that arm. Let's now have it go straight up to the ceiling. So maybe both arms are making a nice straight line. Okay, take the right hand to your waist, left hand to your front leg. You're going to step your back foot in, maybe 8 inches. Moving your hips to the back of the room, keeping your torso in line with your front leg. We're going to meet here in a triangle pose. Getting a nice stretch through the front inner thigh. Take your gaze, look up at the ceiling if you can. Sweep your arm up nice and strong. Now we're going to take this right hand down, soften your front knee, meet me back in your high plank. Hover all the way down, chest to the floor. Come up for your first baby cobra here. So you're on your forearms. Nice. Pressing away from the earth. Just breathe. Feeling a nice stretch through my tummy. Okay, chest down, hands right by your chest. Press up onto the hands, keeping your knees on the mat if you like, or taking them off the mat. Now you're going to pull your hips up to a high plank and press back down dog. 3 big breaths. And let's bring the right foot forward this time. Sweep your arms all the way up. Turn to the side. Take this wrist, line it up with the shoulder. Sweep your other arm up. Maybe you take your feet a little further apart. And let's bring this hand down by the instep of your front foot. Now left arm up to the ceiling, right hand to your front leg. Step the back foot in, meet me in your triangle pose. Hips are moving to the back. Getting a nice stretch through the inner thigh. Try not to lock out either knee. The smallest bend. Okay, let's take both hands on either side of that foot. Bend your front leg. Step back. Meet me in your plank. We're going to come all the way down to the floor. Right back into your baby cobra. Keep those toes tucked under. We're not here long. Pressing away from the earth here. Okay, chest down. Press up. Elevate your knees. Elevate the hips. High plank. Press back down dog. 3 big breaths. We're going to sweep our left foot up between both hands and sweep your arms up to the ceiling. Nice. Just relax here and breathe. Hands to heart. Little back work to do here. So without moving this front knee, I'm just going to ask you to hinge forward. Your spine is long and your tummy is pulling right up and in towards the spine. Sean's going to give you a nice side view. He's so kind. So you see he's not rounding his back. His knee is a little bit behind the heel and he's nice and high on the back foot. Sweep the arms up, nothing else changes. Bring them back to heart. Keep your shoulders nice and broad. Elevate the arms. Try to get them strong and straight. And back to heart. One more time, lift. Is this all you got? Can you give me another inch? And back here. Now sweep them behind you. Palms now face the earth. Try to lift the hands up, back behind you. Maybe you hinge a little bit more. Hands to heart. Little rotation to the left. Come back center. Take the arms out parallel to the floor and give me that same little rotation. Maybe you don't go as far. Come back. Sweep them up. Take them all the way down to frame your foot. Step back, meet me in your plank. Hover halfway. Right to up dog. Hips up and back down dog. Right foot forward. Sweep your arms up. Nice. So make sure you have good width between the front and back foot. Hands to heart. High on the toes on the back foot. Hinge forward. Nothing changed with this front leg. Sweep the arms up. Keep trying to hollow out the stomach. Hands back to heart. When you bring your hands back, you really notice how much work you're doing when they're up. Really try to keep the shoulders broad and the arms long. Back to heart. Again, raise. As best you can. Back to heart. One more time. Reach them up. High on the toes in your back foot. You're leaning forward. Hands to heart. Give me a little rotation to the right. That's both shoulders turning to the right. If you feel shaky, you got to get wider between both feet. Take the arms out. Long and strong with the arms parallel to the floor. They stay straight as you rotate. Come back. Hold it, sweep them back. Lift them up. Your chest is nice and open. Should feel great for the shoulders. One last time, take them up. And let's frame our front foot. You're gonna step back to your high plank. Hover halfway, right to up dog. Hips up and back, down dog. Left foot lifts. Bend at the knee, open your hip. Give me a little pulse, up. Switch legs. Right leg lifts. Bend at the knee. Little pulse up. Shoulders stay square. Make sure you see those arms in your peripheral vision. Okay, let's take that foot down. Come back to your high plank. Lower to your forearms. We're in a low plank. Hollow out your tummy. Let's just tap one knee at a time to the mat, creating a little imbalance. So you're really now, to keep your hips quiet, having to think about pulling in the tummy. That's what's really going to help you stabilize your spine. Try to move slowly and in control. Keep tapping. Take your gaze, make sure you're not dropping your face. You're looking off, just off the end of your mat. A few more here. And let's bring the chest all the way down to the floor. You're going to take one hand, your right hand, bend your right leg. See if you can find your foot. Grab onto the top of the foot with the right hand. Do the same with your left. Pull it in. And now you're going to push your hands into your feet and lift your chest. Maybe your thighs come a little bit off the floor. Getting a nice little quad stretch here. Keep your neck nice and neutral. Again, looking off the end of your mat. Couple of more breaths. I know I'm feeling my quads. Oh, it's so good. Activate your inner thighs isometrically. So kind of try to bring the knees together. They're not going to move. They're hip width apart. But see if you can feel the inner thighs coming to the party here. And let's release them. Whew. Tuck those toes under. Press yourself back up. Hips up and back, right to child's pose. Feel a nice stretch through that lower back. Forehead to the mat. Just relax here for 3 big breaths. Nice. Come all the way back up onto your knees. You're in your quadruped position. Tuck your toes under, knees up, breaks in the elbows. We're going to walk our hands back to our feet. Draw those heels down towards the floor. You're in your low squat. Elbows pull back. Hold it here. And all the way back to standing. Nice job. We're going to turn and face the right. You're going to bring your feet far apart. But you don't want to go so far that you really don't feel stable here, right? Now we're going to pull the hips backwards with a long spine. come down. Nice. Sucking in your belly. Keep it nice and tight. Hands maybe come down to the floor, maybe they don't. So I've got little tiny bends in my knees and I'm pressing my hips back. So I know your body wants to drift forward. Try to drift the hips back best you can. Most of the weight goes to the heel of the foot, right? So there's really nothing in the pad. Left arm out, line it up with the shoulder, and now lift the shoulder up towards the ceiling. Getting a fabulous stretch in that right inner thigh. Maybe you take your gaze and follow the hand. Maybe not. Whatever feels good. Now bring that hand back and let's do the same with the other arm. Arm up, make sure the wrist and shoulder line up and then start to elevate from the shoulder as you drift your hips back. Arm is long and strong. Try to lift the shoulder as best you can. Maybe you go a little higher. Pull the hips back. Getting a nice opening through that front left leg, the left one. Hand back down. Nice job. Both hands back to your waist. Retract your shoulders, get them nice and broad. Pull the tummy in, and then one arm at a time drives forward. You're still drifting your hips back, and your arms are nice and straight. Lots of core doing the work here. Hands all the way down. You're going to do a full forward fold here with your upper body. Just relax. Top of the head hovers above the floor. Now let's take both hands to the left foot. And let's just look at your left knee with your face. Again, you have little bends in the knees. Just kind of relax. Enjoy this nice stretch. And slowly bring the hands back center. We're going to take them over to the right. Look at that right knee. Relax and breathe. Few more breaths. And both hands come back center. You're going to lift up, flat back, one hand at a time to your waist. Come up standing. Walk your feet together. And turn and face forward. Deep breath. Shoulders are nice and broad here. You don't want any compression. You want to try to get the arms straight. It's always okay to have your hands further apart. Nice, slow swan dive down. Palms down, jump back. Step back to your high plank. This is your last time in high plank today. We're going to play with it a little bit. You can always put your knees down if you need a break, but we're going to lift the left leg up. See if you can get that left leg nice and straight. Take your gaze off the end of your mat and switch legs. Right leg lifts. These are optional. If you feel better holding the plank, just hold the plank. Still fabulous work. Right foot down, left knee to left elbow. Step it back. Same thing on the right. Step it back, down dog. High plank, right foot pulls towards your left hand. You're going down to pigeon. How awesome is that? Whew. Great work. Right down onto those forearms. Relax and breathe. So in pigeon, you might be here. You might be comfortable on your forearms, or you might want to go all the way down. But most important, think about pressing your left hip flexor towards the floor. And your right glute is really not touching the floor. Let's stay here for 5 big, fabulous, powerful breaths. Back up to the forearms, then your palms. You're going to step back, just switch legs. Pull that left foot up behind the right hand this time. Start sliding your right leg back. Come on down, relax and breathe. Again, now you're not on that left butt cheek. You're pressing your right hip flexor towards the floor. A few more breaths. And back up onto the forearms. I'm going to ask you to swing that right leg forward. So you're sitting with both feet out in front. Arms extend out. Now just round your back really slowly, one vertebrae at a time. We're just going down. We're not going to come back up. So let's kind of savor this downward part here, pulling in the stomach really slowly, keeping your neck relaxed. Great job, everybody. Okay, pull those knees into the chest. Flex those feet. Make a nice circle to massage the back. Should feel really good. Let's change the direction. Okay, I'm going to ask you to take your right leg all the way out, extend it all the way down along the floor. Try to get your right calf pressing into the earth. Okay, or use a towel if that's easier for you around the bottom of your foot. And see if you can straighten the left leg for me. Now let's press the toes down towards your face so you feel a nice, all the little tendons behind the knee. As you exhale each breath, maybe the foot goes a little more towards the back of the room. Now staying nice and stable through the core without lifting the hip, I'm just going to ask you to open that left leg a little bit to the left. Try to keep your right hip down, don't go too far. And bring it back up. Let's pull that knee into the chest. And we're going to switch. Extend the left leg down, left calf pressing into the earth with your foot flexed. Grab the toes on the right leg. See if you can get that right leg straight. You can also wrap a towel around the bottom of the foot. Bring those toes, press them down towards your face. Leg is straight so you get that nice opening behind the knee. As you exhale out each breath, maybe the foot gets a little further to the back. And now slowly open it to the right a little bit, but your left hip stays down. You're nice and grounded to the earth. Let's bring that leg back in. Hug that right knee into your chest. Join it with the left knee. Maybe you can wrap your forearms around your shins and touch opposite elbow and lift your face up towards your knees. So you're tucking into a tiny ball. And then release it. Head back to the floor. Turn your head to the left. And then turn it to the right. One more time, you're back in a tiny little ball. And release the forearms. Holding onto the knees, you're going to rock yourself up. So you're going to keep a really long spine, get the shoulders nice and broad. Feet are firmly planted on the floor, and let's just extend the arms out. Shoulders are broad. Maybe the arms come a little bit higher. See if you can straighten this right leg. And relax it and straighten the left. And relax. Arms out in front. Both toes come off the floor. Point those toes. See if you can lift the legs. Hold it here and breathe. Maybe you get those legs a little higher. Bend the legs. Lift those arms all the way up towards the ceiling while you hold this pose. Tummy is nice and strong. And bring the arms forward. Come on up onto your toes. Oh, so good. I hope you guys feel better than when you rolled out of bed. I know I did. I was a little stiff today. Anyways, let's get those hips up. Hang out here in this forward fold for a second. Just take 3 more breaths. Okay, palms above the knees. You're going to lead with your head first. We're going to do a nice little side stretch. So I'm going to have you keep your left hand down. You've got your feet hip width apart. Sweep this arm all the way up. Nice and strong, reaching for your ceiling. And then maybe you take it over a little bit. Maybe the hip goes a little bit out. Take your gaze, look up. And relax that arm. Do the same on the left. Sweep it up. Arm is long and strong, comes over a little bit. And back to neutral alignment. Little balance challenge before we say goodbye. Pick up your right foot. Hands to heart. You don't have to lift it high. We just want to challenge your balance a tiny bit here before we go. Arms up if you can. Try to keep a little micro bend in that left knee so you're not locking out. You're actually using muscle here to stabilize. Hands to heart. Pick the knee up. Good job, Anne. You almost had it. That's awesome. And we'll switch legs. So tuck that left foot inside. Doesn't have to be high. Little bend in the right leg. Sweep the arms up. Really long and strong with the arms. Great job. Everybody looks amazing. Shirley, you got great positioning with your shoulders. Hands to heart. And let it go. Big deep breath. And exhale out. Bend your knees. Big deep breath. One more. Exhale. Deep, really big. And relax. Thank you so much for your power and strength. Namaste, everybody. I love you guys. Stretchy, bendy, Sunday fun day. Thank you for being with us.
Sunday fun day, feel good day.
Yeah, feel good day. Well, we killed it yesterday, so we went a little easy today, right?
No. Not really.
Sean's asking about your painting project, Anne.
So we painted the basement, the paneling,